Welcome to Kato Fury's Random Rookie Races. Here at the start line we have two awkward numbers right next to each other, the 72 and 27. Good job. That's not confusing at all, is it? So here we are at the Phoenix International Raceway in the Pickup Cup, which is an unofficial race. So far so good. The racers decide to follow the pace car around for the start of what could be an absolute chaotic race. There's nothing like a good oval race to get that Coors Light fizzing in the veins. I hear earlier in the week, some of the drivers were launching fireworks out of the rear end of their trucks. Oh, and it appears the number 1 car dropped his beer and was leaning down to pick it back up and smashes into the number 2, pressing the pedal way too early. There's no green light in sight. And the number 1 car casually keeps up with the crowd, drinking his beer and smoking a cigarette. Chances are he's so used to running over deer that he didn't even notice. Well, it's been an action-packed event, and that will be all for today. Oh, well, no, actually, the race hasn't even started yet. The pace car comes in, and now the race begins. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The number 72 car followed swiftly by the 27, which is going to get incredibly confusing throughout the race. Reports come in that the crowd are cheering for a crash in turn 1, and they almost got their wish. I think what happened was someone threw their cheeseburger on the track, and it got a little slippy here for the number 429 car, Tim. And again, another cheeseburger has someone slipping out onto the grass again for the second time. Maybe Jason replaced the ketchup bottle with chili sauce like last time, and people are rebelling by throwing their too spicy burgers onto the track. This is dangerous, and it shouldn't be done. I recommend not throwing burgers on the track and using the bins provided. Thank you very much. Here we can see the number 1's crumpled front end from a pre-race incident with a car behind, and we've got another burger on the track spinning around there. Number 3, nose in the wall, tries to control it, reverse 180, dodges some of the other cars there by going high and into the wall again. I hear that he didn't pick his socks up off the floor, and his wife pranked him by putting butter on his steering wheel. I think after this race he will probably start picking up those dirty socks and putting them in the laundry basket. And those are the brightest wheels I've ever seen. It's like those people that find the brightest running shoes they can and wear all black, and oh, there's a ding. Mellow Yellow gets absolutely punted. And then immediately after, the number 1 car gets split in two by those 2 cars that barely made it through. I can't believe those 2 made it past the number 1 there, spinning around the center of the track, and side by side, they absolutely shatter the poor boy's eardrums on both sides, so now he can't hear anything at all. And now we see Ken and Davany, the lead cars, flying through the straight at Mach 3, absolutely gapping the rest of the pack there, as we can see them at least 4 seconds behind. And again, we can hear the crowd chanting for more blood and guts on the track. There hasn't been enough here today, is what they seem to be saying. Every oval racer knows it. That's what they came here to see. And every oval racer is trying their best to hold on to their car as it propels them round the circuit at 100,000 miles per hour. And you can see on the roof of this car here, the guy has his entire pin number to his credit card, instead of just, 1 to 25 or 4 or whatever. I say at 4,326. The car number 4,300 make it really, really, really easy for the commentators. And there's the number 4 car not moving out of anyone's way. Number 3 spinning again. That's that butter on the wheel, I think. This prank is going really well, and the wife is really proud of herself. And the brightest orange wheels you've ever seen in your life, or red, or whatever kind of color blindness I'm seeing here. The wheels have actually blinded me. That's correct. That's why I cannot tell what color that is. And the pin number on the side of the car. Just in case anyone wants to donate to the channel or subscribe to a Patreon or anything else that I could probably set up but haven't. But as we can see, it's going pretty well as the Jurassic Park car comes up right behind, but not making the pass. And now we are on to Ken in first position. Here we are with the lead cars. They are now almost 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. You can see that huge gap there. It seems like Ken and Davey are having no issue staying ahead of the pack together. And the pack are not utilizing drafting to catch up. They are battling side by side. I think I saw the driver of that car trying to lean over and headbutt the other guy as he was passing, but couldn't quite reach. There's the number 6 now pushed out of the way behind the other drivers. I think most of the drivers are saving up their Mortal Kombat 53X finishing moves to later in the race, where they can break out whatever moves they damn well please to get the positions they absolutely believe they deserve. A nice view of the motorhomes there in the background. Aerodynamics be damned, Americans just put a bigger engine in it. The wind won't slow me down because I've got a bigger engine. And here we can see Mike in the number 23 car approaching these back markers that are a lap or lap or two down. And he has what appears to be a punch mark in the back of his truck there. Someone's given that a bit of a knock. Some of these cars now looking like a cheap rental property. Poor old Tim here in the 429 car is stuck between two backlappers. We have the lead cars, Davey and Ken. Davey in first place right now, catching up to the back of the pack. We can see there on the bottom left in the relatives that they are about 8 seconds behind Paul in the 84 car. And here we have a Velociraptor chasing down the 503 car Danny Payne with the brightest shoes in the shop. The Velociraptor number 7 has been attacking, just like a Raptor would in that Jurassic Park style car. No amount of long grass is stopping this car from reaching his goals. This car has got everyone in the grandstands watching their beers for the ripples as the T-Rex approaches. And here we have the number 14 mellow yellow car with the huge ding in the back. Almost flying past the number 79, but realizing that this Oreo could split in two and block that speed. So the 14 car wisely backed off, and the Oreo car figures he's the cream of the crop right about now, managing to take up the entire track and slowing down Louis in the mellow yellow car. Here we have on board with Ken chasing the lead car, now 6 whole seconds ahead of the pack. Davey has actually got a second lead on Ken here, so Ken is going to struggle to catch up. Hopefully he can catch up, maybe get some of that draft and close that gap again before the end of the race. We are on lap 14, leading into lap 15 now of 25 for this race. Here we can see the rear cam of Louis. That's the number 14 car behind. Number 14 car pushing close here. A little bit of extra speed on that corner, using up those tires, that grip, going a little closer to the wall there. And look at that exit speed. Louis, it's like he's turned left before somewhere. Perhaps even 10,000 times before. And we are just over halfway through this race, and we've had several thousand spectators leave to go and watch another YouTube video because there wasn't enough violence, blood, guts, and crashes so far in the race. So they're still, the ones that remain are hoping that perhaps in the next few laps we're going to see some extra aggressiveness and action from these cars. Here we go. This is Davey now in the lead car approaching the back of the pack. These are all a lap down. Managed to squeeze past, dangerously squeeze past the number 4 car. I'm not even sure the back of the pack knew he was there, since their ex-girlfriend smashed their wing mirrors off with a baseball bat prior to the race. We can see now the number 27 car is mixed in with all of these backlappers here. And the number 72 car is about to do the same here. And it looks like someone was in the wall there now, driving really slow on the outside, keeping it high as all the other cars pass. Is that the number 23 car? I believe it is the number 23 car that went into the wall there and slowed down. Now is on a Sunday drive, just hanging out at the back of the pack. I think by the standards of these races, a lot of these drivers are just really happy to be alive still and racing around this ridiculously fast track. And here we have Ken again pushing through the back markers here. There's the number 72 Ken as he catches up to this back marker in front. And just beyond that, you can see the lead car, Davey Deer, in the number 27. Looks like the number 72 has got some speed here. Perhaps he can pass this back marker. Is he going to use the draft? Is the back marker going to let him pass? That number 4 car does indeed stays low, and the number 72 has to stay on the outside to pass this back lapper. Wants to keep the inside there. Nice and clean though. Nice and clean. Speaking of clean, it looks like Davey in the 27 car is getting away from the 72. So with a 2.8 second lead, it's definitely going to take some catching up now, or a mistake of some kind before Ken can even think about catching up to get lead position. And here we are on board with number 14, Michael, and someone's scraping the wall again there. A little bit of paintwork destroyed someone's beautiful livery design, but I'm sure the body shop's pretty happy to get more work and get paid for it. This is the perspective of the 14 car, who is currently in 5th place. And now we have Louis in the 79 car trying to pass some of these back markers here. A little close there, a little close for comfort. I guess one of them wants to race and takes the outside, and Louis manages to keep the inside. The back marker backs off a little bit, letting Louis through, realizing that he doesn't want to be battling this guy and ruining a race that's a lap ahead of him. It's pretty scary when you're passing these back markers who are a lap down. You never know if they're going to be the cause of your end of race disaster. As you choose a line, you don't know if they're going to try and move out of the way, weave across the road like this guy in front is weaving all over the place, not sure what to do. As that now we're almost bumper to bumper again, off the wall a little bit there. Someone comes up the inside and nearly kills number 23. How dangerous was that? Now we've got a vanishing car. I think that guy is somewhere in a takeout restaurant, a fast food restaurant, using their specifically slow Wi-Fi. He's taking his G29 wheel to the restaurant with him, eating his chicken nuggets. And the 23's in the wall with all the chaos, but he's still driving. His car looks like the front wheels look like Conor McGregor's ears right now, and he's still driving. I don't know how he's keeping this on the track with wheels looking like that. And now it looks like this car has been driving around and parked up in a rough area and left it there overnight to be vandalized by absolute hooligans. And as you can see, there's some dents in that thing. And regardless of damage, you can see the number 23 car, Mike Robinson, is dedicated to finishing the race like Rocky Balboa, punched in the face 300 times, still getting up and still going. This is the racing spirit that we like to see here. I think it's absolutely fantastic when we see rookies racing to the end, finishing the race. Speaking of racing to the end and finishing the race, here we have the number 27 car crossing the line for the final lap, and a victory for Davey Deer in the number 27 car. And in second place is Ken, and then in third, I think that is Louis, now about to cross the line in the number 79. Another great race in Kato Fury's Random Rookie Races. I'll see you in the next episode.